Hey guys, Anime West Reviews here. This is going to be a new series that I've decided to do reviews for because I just wanted to add some more manga videos to the channel. And so this is going to be a review for a manga called Sachi-iro Sachi-iro no One Room. So this is going to be for chapter 29 since it's the latest one that I see has come out. And so I caught up recently. Believe it was like a couple days ago. So this chapter we start off where the last one kind of ended, where Sachi has cut her hair and she is welcoming the guy character who has no name and is just being called Mr. now. So he comes back from going to look for a job and he is like freaked out, like, what happened to your hair? Because she cut her hair last chapter. And so she just says she felt like chopping it off and that she got tired of it being long, and so he's just kind of like standing there kind of shocked. So it shows just like the hair in a bag, and then it shows like the bathroom or like the toilet. And so yeah, he is saying, he is like wondering what's wrong, because like asking her if something happened. She's saying that nothing did. It's like, why? And so he's like, it can't be nothing. Because she has kind of seemed to have changed, because before he didn't care how she looked, and then she cuts her hair out of nowhere. So he's like, now that he thinks about it, since a couple chapters ago we saw her in the car and she saw like a lady who looked like her mom and it freaked her out. So now he's thinking that like, he's like, now that I think about it, she was acting strange when I left her alone in the car. So then he's just like, hey, Sachi, look at all this junk lying around. Something definitely must have happened. And that he's like worried about her, saying like, tell me if something's wrong. Because she has never done this before, and then she just starts saying, I'm sorry, over and over and over. You get a 2-page spread of just her saying, I'm sorry. And then she's like, you're mad, aren't you? I must have done something wrong. And so she's just like, I'm begging you, I want to continue this life together. It's like, doesn't want to go back home, so she's like, I promise I'll clean everything up, I'll be good. And so she's just like, please don't abandon me. So he's just like, hey, calm down, no one's mad. And she's like, I also don't plan on ending how they've been living together. She's like, we made a promise, right? And he's saying, what happened while I was gone? And then once again she says nothing happened. And so yeah, he is clearly like kind of rattled by it. And so he's just like, I'm sorry for yelling, and she's like, that's okay. And you see how her like speech bubble seems to have like changed now, where it's all shaky looking. Might just be the translators doing that though. And so yeah, he says that he got some rice balls for dinner, and she's like, pick whichever you like. And he's like looking at her and he's thinking Sachi was more indifferent before. She dealt with every problem as if it wasn't her own. Even the incident with her teacher didn't make her lose her senses. So then he's just like trying to figure out like what caused this change. Like, so he's thinking, was it because he told her his true feelings? And then he's like, no, it isn't like her to be affected by someone else's feelings. So then he kind of figures that something inside herself has changed. And so yeah, you see her like looking at the rice balls, just saying, what should I pick? What should I pick? Like indifference, I guess. And so then he calls his work the next day saying, I know this is sudden, but I don't think I can take this job. Or he says he doesn't feel like he can take the job for various reasons, and so like yeah, sorry for the trouble. Thank you very much. Hangs up the phone, and then she's just like, you're not going to work. And so he says, just thought it might, or he says he just thought it was a drag, so he'll take a week off. And so she is asking, like, then what about the money? He's saying that she doesn't usually care about that. And he's like, don't worry about it. So she says that, like, hey, a while ago I was acting strange, wasn't I? Sorry for that. And so he says that he doesn't mind. And then she's just like, I see, good to hear. So then we get her kind of perspective of her saying that Mr. didn't ask anything. And then she's like thinking, I think he's taking a week off for my sake. That only happens when she's alone. That freak out she had, basically. And so now that he's here with her, she's relieved. And then she hears a voice say, well, I guess if he's with you, then he can't run away on his own. And she, like, quickly turns and looks back and nothing's there. Because, yeah, she's like, was that just my imagination? And then he just sits down and says, you know, it's my first time seeing the ocean. Because they've moved pretty far away and they could, like, see the ocean now. And so he's telling her that he's never seen the ocean. He's saying that he's never left the city before, so then this kind of feels kind of fresh, he's saying. And she's just saying, so it's his first time seeing the ocean too. And he says, in this season, there won't be anyone around once it's dark. I think it'd be a good idea to go. Or a nice idea to go. And then she just looks at him and says, are you trying to cheer me up? And he's like, not really. And she's just like, you are, aren't you? And he's like, I said no. And she's like, I knew you were nice. It's just like, I shouldn't have said anything. And so, yeah, then we have another kind of monologue from Sachi, and she's just like, no matter what his true feelings are, I guess this part of it hasn't changed. It's like being nice, but then she thinks, but the fact that he's her kidnapper will never change. And that she promised that she would kill him one day. She's like, there are no strings attached, we just share the same goal. And that she must never forget that. And so then we have like a slight time skip where she says since then she hasn't seen her quote unquote mom in a few days because the mom that's kind of looming over her and tormenting her. And so then she's like looking out at the sunset and she's like thinking about it. We haven't put up any pictures since we moved here. And then she's just like, of course we need to be prepared to leave at any moment. But to him, those pictures are no longer needed. Time only moves forward and never looks back. And she's just like, but the same goes for her. She's like, but the same goes for me right now. There's nothing I want to return to. And like the doorbell rings, he tells her to go hide in the closet because he doesn't know who it is. And yeah, he answers the door, and the person there is just like, hello, I just moved in next door. And the audience, us, knows who it is because his name is Matsubase, and he says that it's a pleasure to meet you. And we know that he is the detective that is trying to find her, basically. Or the detective trying to find Sachi, but he's also kind of like curious as to what it is between the two of them because we know, or he knows that there's something odd about them. Because he was hired by Sachi's mother, he understands that he pretty much put a bunch of stuff together kind of about her home situation. So he wants to find her and save her, but kind of a weird thing where Sachi doesn't want to be away from Mister, but detective is looking for him. Now he's found them, so we are, or I'm really curious to see where this goes. But yeah, overall, thought it was a really good chapter. So yeah, let me know if you enjoy the series. Starting this from 29, so yeah. Leave a like, comment down below, share the video, subscribe, all that stuff. Links in the description and comment section to the Patreon and Discord. And yeah, I will see you all later. So yeah, bye.